All right, awesome. So we are live today. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. My name is Hani, and I'm the Education USA advisor in the Czech Republic. And today I have two special guests from University of Evansville. I have Katie and I have Coach Sam. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, thank you so much for joining. These are amazing people. We are going to talk about esports today, which is brand new topic for me and for I think for the Czech Republic in general. So I'm so excited to hear all about esports and how to apply to college and so forth. So Katie is here. If you guys have any questions regarding admissions to US universities, University of Evansville in that case, and Coach Sam is here to talk about esports. So before I leave the floor to them, I would like to introduce Education USA a little bit more because I know that some of you are here for the first time. So real quick, Education USA is here for you guys if you are thinking about applying to the United States. So if you are currently at high school and this is your dream, we are here to help. So Sam, if we can go to the other slide, it will just show that our services are completely free of charge and we are trying to be accurate, comprehensive, unbiased. So if this is your dream or if you're already working on it and you just need a hand, let me know. I am so happy to help you throughout the process. I know that if you're currently in your graduating year, you are dealing with Common Application, you are dealing with CSS profile, and I can help you. If you are a junior, basically, so you have one more year to go or 2 more years to go, this one and the next one, this is the perfect time to start. So if your dream is to study in the United States, Education USA can definitely help. On the next slide, you can see that there are multiple centers all around the Czech Republic. My center is currently in Prague, but it will soon become virtual. So I'm functioning virtually anyway. So that's why we're doing it live right now. You can definitely reach out to me via email. I'm happy to meet with you. I'm happy to meet with your parents to explain anything, but otherwise, we'll exchange emails. You can join our live streams like you are here today. You can send me an email and I'm happy to work with you. If you live though in Plzeň, Ústí, Olomouc, Brno, Ostrava, or Praha, we have American centers there. So you can visit, you can borrow books, you can talk to a real person, and they are also happy to advise you on your journey to the United States. And lastly, I would like to share my last slide before I hand it over to Coach Sam and Katie, what we do. So I offer consultations. If you want to meet in person, I'm happy to. We can consult online. I'm happy to hear about your story, your dreams, and I'll try to tailor the experience to you specifically. I have a library, so if you're preparing for your SATs or TOEFL or GRE or whatever, I'm happy to give you some prep books, and then you can join us on our live streams, on webinars. I also do in-person events. So this one is actually, there's a picture from our get-together in Prague. And there are many people who are already studying in the US or who were thinking about it. So those are kind of events that I do every year. Everything you need to know, you will learn on our social media. So under the handle Education USA Czech, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, you will find our previous videos. And then if you scan the QR code, it will get you to our monthly newsletter, which has tons of useful information and teasers for upcoming events. And you might see some pictures of successful stories of Czech students studying in the US. So please read it. It takes a lot of time to create it, so please read it. I'm very proud of it. And now, while you are here, we are going to talk about esports with the representatives from University of Evansville. If you have any questions, I know this is live, put it into chat box. I am monitoring it online. We'll answer them at the end. But now, Sam, Katie, thank you so much for joining. The floor is yours.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having us. Katie, I don't know if you wanted to introduce yourself first and then I can go next.
Sure. So my name is Katie Hare, and I am an international admission counselor at the University of Evansville. I've been doing university admission work for the better part of 7 years here in the United States. but been at the university just about a year. It is such a joy to work with Sam. Our esports program is really thriving. It's a great opportunity for students who are interested in the video gaming world to incorporate those interests with their university studies. We have 75 different majors, but this live stream is not necessarily about our university specifically. It's more about what is esports, how can you be involved. Sam will talk a little bit about our university, but in the chat, like Hani said, if you have any specific questions about our university or even college admissions in the United States in general, I would be happy to answer those questions at the end of the presentation or even one-on-one, depending on what the depth of those questions are. So I'm just here kind of also to learn along with everybody, to share with Sam and support him because he's doing such an incredible job at our university, and I'm just excited to be a part of this. So thanks, Hani, for the opportunity.
Yeah, awesome. Well, my name is Samuel Henderson. I'm the esports coordinator and head coach here at the University of Evansville. My background was I was a professional player within the Call of Duty and Halo scene. If you don't know, those are popular games back in 2012, right when the esports boom really happened. And we'll kind of talk about that history when it comes to that. I was under a team called Noble Gaming Esports, playing for the Major League Gaming circuit, traveling all over the nation, competing under this organization, Noble Gaming Esports, under those games of Call of Duty and Halo. My most greatest prize or greatest winning that I've ever won was around $40,000. Was a tournament that me and my team won, and so we got to split that prize pool amongst each other, and so that's one of the accolades that I get to highlight, which I'm very privileged to have that opportunity. After my time within those games, I went to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville for a little bit, where I played collegiately for the League of Legends team. If you don't know that game, it's a very popular strategic game, kind of like chess but a little bit different. And I played under their team. Then I finished out my college career somewhere else at Liberty University. Once graduating, I got a part-time position as a coach at St. Ambrose University in Iowa, where I was their FPS coach, coaching Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Valorant, and Fortnite. Those were the main games I specialized in. And then after that, I really wanted to create my own program and start my own initiative. And so then I found this opportunity at the University of Evansville. I've been truly blessed with this opportunity. So enough about me. I'll get it more into esports and what that kind of looks like. So what I always like to ask is, what is esports? For those who are live, I would love for you to go ahead and chat for your opinions on what is esports. And I'll give you a quick second to go ahead and do that if there's anybody who's chatting, but if not, then I'll go ahead and explain it a little bit.
I'm getting some messages. It's playing games online, gaming. Somebody's typing and then erased it. So I guess it discovered it. Yeah.
Yeah. You all are exactly right. It is gaming. But what I like to identify esports is competitive gaming, just like you would get professional sports within football. So what we would call soccer, but you guys football or baseball or any other sport that at the highest level, there's this very competitive realm, and that's what they call like professional leagues. That's what esports is for us, is competitive video gaming. And there's specific titles or games that are identified as esports centric, but pretty much any video game in general can be an esports game. This next slide, which I'll show you, is a quick video on just giving you reference on what it's like here in the United States and kind of the bigger realm of esports within the United States. So let's see if this plays. Just to verify everyone can hear that.
I actually don't hear it.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to quickly. Let's see. Sorry, everyone. I'm just trying to make sure that you can hear it. Oh, maybe I have to do share sound. Okay, let's try now.
E-League. I don't know if it's sports.
Okay, I'll go ahead and rewind it, and then we'll go ahead and start that up.
Have you guys seen Esports and the E-League? I don't know if that's sports, but it's great sport. Mind savvy.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word that I would go for.
If you don't break a sweat, I don't consider it a sport.
Oh, no, you do.
Watching people play video games isn't like watching people play football. It's like watching people play fantasy football. It is one more step removed from human activity. You understand?
It's video games. It shouldn't be on a sports network. It's video games.
But can it truly be a spectator sport?
It already is. 71 million watched it last year. They reckon it's going to, by 2017, it'll be 145 million people watching it.
They're actually giving college scholarships for
Video
gaming.
You're kidding.
And it's even gone to the point that now the government has acknowledged professional video gamers as athletes.
Same way you watch a football match, you can hear the crowd, everyone's cheering the team on, you make friends, these are people you talk to, you play with online. It's all about community, it's being part of something that you're incredibly passionate about.
Running for Barrett though right now, trying to establish vision control and force Ambition steals the Elder Dragon! He gets away! There's no lives! This is a 4-Drake Elder Dragon! He lives! Ambition saves the game once again!
Have you guys seen
Sorry about that. So I like to
crying over here. I'm like, that's so moving. Sorry. Okay.
So I like to show this video because back in our history of esports, it really took off in 2011 when a lot of new video games were becoming competitive and there was competition. These games would be like StarCraft, Halo, Call of Duty. You're seeing these games pop up and no one was really considering it a sport. They were honestly mocking esports as even a thing because it's electronic sports. And so naturally there was a lot of hesitancy to come into it, but as we fast forwarded into time to today, that perspective has changed dramatically. Today in America, there are scholarships being given to students, sometimes full ride scholarships given to students for being a part of esports collegiate programs. There's also tons of ways that you can make connections, networking, community, as well as make jobs out of these positions that and experience that you get. And so I like to show this because it's more than just competitive video gaming. It's so much more than just playing a game with your friends, but there's definitely an element of that. And what ultimately it comes down to is
sports?
Sorry, I'm trying to get past this.
Have you
Is opening doors for people. Esports, just like any other sport like football, is opening doors for you to do other things that you want to ultimately do in life. That might be creating a community. Hopefully everyone here, including me, wants to have friends and have a community and get along with people. And hopefully you want that. And that's what esports also provides. Just like any other hobby, any other interest, that's what esports is. You come together and have a common interest of video games or competitive video games at that, and just being able to create that community. Also, hopefully everyone here likes to have fun. Hopefully no one just likes to be bored all the time. And that's what video games and competitive esports is about. Just like watching football on TV, you would be able to watch esports on TV. Your favorite video games, analyses of these games, you would be able to watch, also share in that community and have fun in that. Lastly, is to have jobs. Hopefully, everyone here, including me, wants to have a job later in life, make some money, maybe go and use that money to travel or do other things that you like to do. And that this is what esports is for, is providing you opportunities to develop skills so that way you're more desirable or more wanted within places where then you can get that opportunity to make hopefully a lot of money in that regard. And so going on, these are job careers within esports. On the left side, you can see roles within esports. This is professional player, coach, analyst, journalist, all the things associated with classic sports is also within esports. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see careers in technology, digital careers in industries and STEM industries. These are industries that aren't necessarily involved in esports, but help esports in that category. Like cloud solutions, there's certain games that use cloud-based data within their game, and you'd be that engineer who creates this cloud up there of data and being able to supply that for video game producers. You also might be a mobile technologies expert, where mobile gaming is becoming exceedingly popular, and so you might be developing those phones or games in order to go ahead and do that, not necessarily within esports, but very closely tied within that. And so what we ultimately come down to together in the middle is the academic links of those two realms together. You have computer science, technology, engineering, mathematics, everything that you can learn at an institution like the University of Evansville can then go either direction within a professional role within esports or also in whatever career you want. What I like to highlight as well at the top is transferable skills. In being involved in esports, you gain these skills in order to be more competitive or more wanted by those different career or different companies that you're applying for. In teamwork, obviously you're going to be on a team within esports. You gain that knowledge on how to work well with the team, collaborate with each other, communicate with each other. You also gain leadership skills. Are you in have integrity? Do you own up to your faults? Those things within leadership, that's what you gain within being involved in esports. So like I was saying before, it's all about opening doors for you. It's not about specializing in a specific place, but it's allowing you to have options within your life. Going on, I will talk about our esports program, but before that, I'd love to answer maybe 2 questions real quick, if there are any, about esports, so that way you can go ahead and get more information there. Definitely don't want to just fly through this.
There is actually a question if that esport part is like a major that this person would be applying to, or if it's like he would have to apply to a different major and esports is like the sports activity that he does.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways that esports has been approached within academics. One way is there's certain schools that have incorporated esports as a major or even a minor within their university, meaning that you can study esports centric things. Now, here at the University of Evansville, we don't do that, mainly because of the lack of benefit that we have seen with having that within your academic or even professional career. If you were to specialize within esports, then that wouldn't necessarily help you maybe possibly get a job within a basketball industry or a baseball industry, or even maybe an accounting industry where we want you to be able to have options, like we were saying, multiple options and opportunities that are available to you. So that's where we just have it kind of like you apply as a sport. If you were to come here and play basketball, you would also study possibly other degrees like business, engineering, accounting, those things alongside playing basketball. The same thing is here within esports. You would be an engineering major, a business major alongside playing esports. Great question, though.
Thank you. And there is, oh, sorry, Katie, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you go back one slide as well to your slide where you showed the academic majors, I don't know if you can
Sorry.
So here where it says academic links, those are all more specifically majors that could play either way. And at the University of Evansville specifically, we have computer science, we have information technology, we have 6 different types of engineering, mathematics, we have creative media. So those are all, I would say, you absolutely can choose academic programs that will allow you to have the outcomes Sam's talking about without necessarily majoring in esports.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Great. And Sam, there is one more question, and it asks, like, I like to play games, and I am grateful it can open doors for me to study at a uni. How good do I have to be, and what games specifically do I have to play?
Yeah. So the popular games I'll talk about a little bit later on what you might want to focus on those games. But the how good you need to be also depends on where you're applying. So there's certain programs within the nation that are well known for specific things, like the university or Miami University in Ohio is well known for Counter-Strike. If you were a Counter-Strike player, you would really want to focus maybe on that school. But if you're also wanting to be the top best League of Legends player and you're the top within your nation, then you might want to go somewhere else. But when it comes to just having an opportunity within academics and really exploring that realm and opening that door to you, you want to look at what the university and what the esports program specifically wants from you and what you want from the university as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. In that you really want to focus on do you align in mission and values for that esports program? And that's what we'll kind of talk about within our program here, hopefully allowing you to have a better idea on kind of what we do, but also what you might want to look for. Yeah. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and go more into the slides. And if there are any more questions, then we'll have time later on. So that way you can ask them there. So this is our esports program. This is one of our players for our Super Smash Bros. Player. His name's Will, great guy, doing a funny pose, if you can't tell. But our mission here at the esports program here at the University of Evansville is to train champions. And training champions does not always mean being first on a podium. Obviously, with the Olympics happening, you get a good picture of a gold, silver, and bronze medal, but being a champion doesn't always mean getting gold, silver, or bronze. What being a champion means is being excellent in all things that you do. And that might be your academic career, that might be your professional career, but that also might be your personal career. Do you have friends? Do you have a community? Do you have an environment that supports you? And we want you to be excellent in all of those categories. And the way that we train champions is through 3 specific ways. One, we have high standards of excellence, where we have specific GPA requirements that you need to have, which is a 3.0 you need to have. And then you also need to be doing community hours. So we want to also not only provide you opportunities, but also to give back to communities around you that definitely need that. And so we have high standards of excellence. Now, we know that not everyone's going to be perfect and that you definitely need to gain skills. And so we have development classes where you can gain specific skills, like, let me go ahead and go here, like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So develop specific skills like project management. Are you managing multiple homework assignments that you have that have specific deadlines, and how to manage that? Time management goes alongside that, as well as confrontation management. Are you a person who likes confrontation and handles it well? But if you're not, then maybe we can teach you ways to be better in that. We also know that every person is going to fail. We're human. I'm the first person to say that I definitely fail sometimes. And in that, we also have accountability measures, essentially railings to make sure that you're going towards this path of being a champion. And so we have adaptive accountability measures where some people work better with more responsibilities, and they need more responsibilities in order to go towards this. But also some other people may not need those responsibilities and need less responsibilities. And so we work with each student depending on them breaking certain standards that we have to be able to propel them to be a champion. What we like to say is we're preparing students to be ready for the podium. Not that we're going to get you to that podium, but we're getting you ready to be on that podium. Going on, our program values, we value 3 specific values within that. Our first one is excellence. Obviously, I've talked about high standards of excellence and being a champion. And so it's important that that's one of our first values. And excellence is we pursue the highest standard in any endeavor marked by exceptional quality, skill, and performance. Like I was saying, in anything that you do, any endeavor, anything that you like to get involved in, we want to make sure that you're excellent in it, marked by quality, skill, and performance. Our next value is integrity. Nothing is more detrimental to the hard work and dedication that you put into than cheating, than being dishonest, and then ruining all of that hard work and effort that you and your team have been a part of. And so integrity is one of our cornerstone values that we definitely highlight. Integrity, just so that way you know, is a fundamental qualities that encompass honesty, ethical principles, and moral character. Our last value is dedication. We know life's going to happen. Things are going to get a little bit harder as you get into your college career, also just in life. And so we want to make sure that we have a strong commitment and persistence towards being a champion. And ultimately, ours is training you to be champions. Things are going to come up, things are going to happen, and we want to make sure that we're always training you into that direction. Continuing on, this is our esports center on the right. We have 20 gaming stations inside of here. Our first from the left side to the right side, our first, second, and third row have PCs in them. They have, if you're a PC nerd like me, you'll understand this. If not, you can zone out a little bit. There's 4070s inside, i7s, 32 gigabytes of RAM, with 165 hertz monitors, and all peripherals are supplied to you. All of them are Corsairs. We also have specific strategic peripherals like Wooting keyboards, Logitech mice that are very light and very accurate, as well as in-ear headphones where you can hear more and have that more cancellation aspects. But on the very back row is our 5 console rows or console gaming stations where you can play a Nintendo Switch and an Xbox X on there. Predominantly our Super Smash Bros plays on there, but also as we add other games and have other events, then we have Xboxes there. On the left, these are our 6 competing teams, starting with Counter-Strike 2, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Rocket League, Overwatch 2, and Super Smash Bros. Those are currently the ones that we compete in. Now, there are others, as I'm going to answer that question previously. So League of Legends is a very popular game. Valorant is also a very popular game. Here in America, Dota is not so much, but in other countries, there's definitely a higher focus on Dota, but also there's some also mobile gaming, like PUBG is huge when it comes to mobile gaming, as well as Call of Duty on mobile gaming is very, very big when it comes to that. There are other games that aren't necessarily within the collegiate realm, but collegiate players play a lot of them. And one of those is Apex Legends. That's a huge one that everyone likes to get involved in, and Rainbow Six Siege. Those are the ones that a lot of people are getting involved in that aren't really in collegiate spheres, meaning they're not really in colleges yet. Soon they hopefully will be, but not quite yet. There are other sports-centric esports games like NBA 2K, Madden, FIFA, as well as iRacing or simulator racing. This might be Formula One, NASCAR, dirt racing. Those things you can also get involved in when it comes to esports in general. Going on, the way that we like to measure our students and how they're doing performance-wise is through 4 key metrics. One of them is mechanical skill. And mechanical skill is specifically how well do you know how to play the game. In strategic shooters, this might be how well is your aim in that? How well can you move or be mobile within that game? In game knowledge, our second key metric is knowing in-depth knowledge about the game. This might be sound cues. So when you make a footstep or a certain character does an ability, then you might be able to, by sound, be able to hear that and not necessarily have to see that. And that's kind of the game knowledge that is within that realm. Our third key metric is communication ability. So are you able to not only talk, but also are you able to listen? It's really easy to be able to just zone out, kind of plug your ears and just talk, but you have to make sure that you're getting that information as well, so that way you can have that collaboration within your teammates. And lastly is leadership traits. Within leadership traits, this is something that's developed, not always just someone is automatically a leader. Sometimes that takes time. And so we like to focus on how people can get better in leadership traits. And this is like taking charge of things. If there's a lull in a conversation or the team doesn't really know what to do, then you take charge in pointing a direction on where the team should go. This is also owning up to your mistakes. I'm the first person to say that I make mistakes, as I said previously, but I also own up to my mistakes. It's super frustrating when people don't, and so I understand the importance of doing that. And it's also being willing to and eager to learn. Hopefully, coming to the University of Evansville, that you would also be wanting to educate yourselves through our academic programs, but also in any other endeavor that you're also a part of. Going on, these are the roles and responsibilities within our esports program. So we have 4 major roles within our esports program. And the first one at the top is our players, or what I like to call athletes. They're required to attend all practices, competitions, events, as well as attend team and program meetings and study halls. It's important that as a student here that you're focusing on your academic career or your grades, but also that you're focusing on that social aspect. So that's why we have team and program meetings. We also require you to maintain a 2.0 GPA cumulatively, but our program likes to focus on a 3.0. We just need to have a 2.0 as a baseline. And then lastly is follow all rules, regulations, and expectations for the university and us. Our second roles are manager and captain. Now, not every team has a manager, but every team has a captain when it comes to hosting meetings and events, also capturing moments at events or competitions. Hopefully, if you're involved in our esports program, you want some pictures of the cool times that you're experiencing and tokens of those. And so our captains capture that through videos or photos through their phone or specialized cameras. And they also enforce any strikes on their team. A key important part was keeping people accountable, and so our captains really help in those initiatives. Then they also help with recruitment campaigns. So if you are interested in joining our esports program at the University of Evansville, then you can meet some of our captains and get to know the leadership on our team, not just hear it from me who's leading it, but the students who are involved in that. Lastly is our esports coordinator, me, and also our part-time coaches that help us out with specific teams. And so we develop training programs. We also mediate any issues on the teams. Then we provide effective and useful feedback based on our experience and history within teams and playing those games. And then we also strategically plan and prepare for the future. I'll kind of talk about the phase 2 that we're going to unleash here soon, but I'll go into I'll save that to the last when it comes to that. So I want to thank you all for being here, just allowing me to go ahead and talk about our esports program. If you can't tell already, I love esports and I love working here at the University of Evansville, and just being able to share all of the things that we're doing here is such a privilege. And I really appreciate you taking your evening to be able to do that. If you're interested in getting involved or just knowing what we're doing, we have a QR code that you can scan here, which is our Discord. And then at the bottom here is our website for our esports program. If you don't have your phone, or you're using your phone currently and can't scan this, then you can go to evansville.edu/esports, and you'll be able to find all that information on how to join our Discord and website to be able to see everything that I kind of talked about more in depthly. But going back to, and I'll go ahead and click back here. So our phase 2, before I forget about it, our phase 2, we have stairs up here that you can't see that go upstairs, and we're actually going to renovate our space to double our capacity. So here soon we're going to have 40 gaming stations rather than 20, and that way we're going to be able to provide so much more games, kind of like League of Legends, Valor, and other games that I was highlighting if you are interested in those games more. But that is it for everything. Is there any questions that I can help answer for esports or our program?
There are some questions, quite a few actually. So it seems that we attracted some parents as well. And this question actually popped up when you had the picture of the room where the esports is happening. And I actually personally visited it, and it's very impressive.
Yeah,
But
I'll go back there real quick.
I think it's the parent is asking, how do you make sure my kid doesn't sit here all day long?
Yes, that is a valid concern. And that's what we don't want, is ultimately to take away from their grades and their focus in that. But also if they want to be involved in other things like intramural sports, different things like that. And so we have a very specific metric tracker where they have a student ID where they swipe whenever they come in. And depending on the amount of times that they come in per week, then that alerts me to have a conversation with them to be able to talk about, hey, is there anything wrong? How are your grades doing? How are you doing in your classes? Those kinds of questions, to make sure that not only that we're holding them accountable, but also that they can be well supported within their time here. Mm-hmm. And so depending on the amount of time, but also the amount of the different times that they come in, we track that so that way we can come alongside them. Also, we have a grade tracker in the background where every time a professor grades their assignments and their GPA is a certain amount, if it drops below our standard, then we have a meeting with that student to say, hey, how can we come alongside you and help you raise your GPA? But if that's not possible for whatever reason, then we allow the student to take a break from esports, really focus on their education, and then if they would like to later come back to esports.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you, Sam. So there's another question. It's partially for Katie, partially for you, Coach. So if I want to apply, and I've never played before, but it sounds like fun, what do I do?
I can answer the application question, and then Sam can talk about the gaming side of things. So our application at the University of Evansville is live now. So you can apply on our website at evansville.edu// I don't know which one that is. Apply. I'm very PC illiterate. I apologize. But yes, if you go to our website and hit apply, you can also apply on Common App. So if you're using the Common application for other universities, you can apply that way. Our international application does have a $50 application fee, but otherwise what I'm looking for is an English proficiency exam, depending on if the country you're in or the school you're in is a English program or not. So if you're going to an international school where they speak English in all of your instruction, I will waive that exam. But if all of your primary instruction is in another language, then you will have to do an English proficiency exam. We are looking for your transcripts from your high school experience. You don't have to submit any SAT or ACT scores unless you would like to. So that's optional to you. And so those are kind of some of our requirements. And I can send Hani a link as well to all of our application requirements, but we try to make it as easy as possible. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to complete. I'm the person that's going to be reading your application for the most part. And so one really big pro, and then kind of going back to what Sam talked about of how he'll know that you're not sitting there the whole time or whatever. I think our campus does a really good job, and Honey visited us this summer. We're 2,100 students, and so we're a small campus, and our students don't get lost. We're located in a city of about 200,000 people, but we do a really good job of individually working with you. So whether that's individually guiding you through the process of your application. If I see, okay, you've submitted an application, but I'm missing some materials or whatever, I'm going to do some outreach to you. And so we try to make it as easy as possible for you to apply. You'll know within 3 to 4 weeks if you're admitted to the university. We do have rolling admission, so you don't have to wait until December, January, February to find out. And so you can start kind of at that point having conversations with Sam about what your potential is on the team. And I'll let him talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So if you don't have experience playing any esports, definitely start doing that if that's the direction that you're wanting to go. But if you know that this is just something that you just want to create a community on, and maybe just spectate and just have fun creating that community and spectating that sport, then we also have an event for you. So every Friday we have an event called Free Play Fridays, where you can come by from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and just play some games, have some fun, have a good time. And this event is specifically catered for those more what we would call casual players, just anybody who wants to come by and play some games and have fun. But if you do want to get to that competitive realm, and maybe possibly are already, then you can go ahead and email me at esports@evansville.edu, and you'll see I'll actually bring it up now. You'll see the email under my name. You can go ahead and email me any clips or videos that you might have of you already playing those games. If you have a Twitch or YouTube channel, that really helps me get a really good idea on how good you are. But if you haven't started already, definitely the present is the best time to start. So you definitely want to start now and see how good you are. In general, if you're talking about ranking within a game, you want to be around gold, platinum level. That's kind of the general line within most games that you want to be at. And within those games, you'll kind of know it's a good level of knowing what the game is and how to play it, but not too high where you have to be the very, very best at the game.
Thank you. There's a funny comment just saying like, hey, I wish this was in Czech because my mom doesn't speak English and she doesn't want me to play. So we can translate it for her, don't worry. And there is
funny question.
Yeah. And there is one more question. This student is apparently a track and field runner, and he's asking whether it's feasible to combine doing esports, doing track and field, and doing or studying a major, like whether it can all work together.
Yes, it definitely is feasible. We have what we call multi-sport athletes already. Last year, we had 3 baseball players play within our esports program alongside their baseball season, so that way they could compete in both. But certain sports are a little bit harder. Track is not necessarily one of them, but swimming is. Swimming takes a lot of time and dedication, and so they are able to participate in esports only during their off season for their sport. And so if you want to be involved, you can be involved in your off season, or if it's possible to work with your coach and whatever sport you're doing, then we'll be able to have that conversation and see if that's possible for you to participate in both.
Great, thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
And I think I see a last question, and it asks, is it okay to reach out to your email address if I have any questions?
Yes, please. It is perfectly fine. I love answering questions, if you can't tell already. That way you can have a very clear view on everything that we do here at the University of Evansville and make an educated decision. We don't want to, when you come here, we don't want you to make you feel like, hey, well, I didn't know about this or I didn't know about that. We want you to know everything so that way you can go ahead and make the best decision for you. We're not just in the interest of you coming here at the University University of Evansville. Though we would love for you to come here and have a great time here, but we want the best for you as a student and as a person.
Thank you.
I would say too, we also offer the opportunity if students are obviously not able to come to campus and visit, we can offer a virtual visit. I have gone as far as FaceTiming or Zooming with students and like holding my screen and walking around campus. We can set up individual interviews with academic professors if there's academic questions. We have a whole like little unit of students. There's about 10 international ambassadors that we have that are all international students who are more than happy to FaceTime or Zoom with you just to talk about their student experience. I'm sure some of Sam's athletes would also talk with students. And so, yes, as Sam said, we don't want anyone to feel like I didn't have the information I needed before they made a decision, because you're talking about coming across the world to study with us. And so any information you need, please feel free to email either Sam or myself, depending on the nature of your question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that this is all, regarding the chat box right now. But you guys, if you think about anything else, feel free to type it in and we will get to it later. Sam, Katie, thank you so much for introducing University of Evansville. Thank you for introducing esports. This is brand new to me. I'm excited. I'm not a gamer myself, but this was really I like the space and so forth. So I hope that we got Czech students and Slovak students excited, and hopefully they'll reach out with more questions and you will see applications coming in. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you for having us.